All right, enumerators, welcome. In this quick explainer, we are going to master the House Listing Operations app, or HLO app. We're really going to focus in on those key questions and the branching logic behind them so you can collect all your data accurately and, just as importantly, super efficiently. Okay, let's just dive right in. We'll walk through a brand new entry, and we're going to start with getting the location just right. You have to remember, your answers are what drive the app's logic. So understanding how one answer flows into the next, well, that's the key to making your fieldwork smooth and precise. First things first, every single entry you make, every one, starts with correctly identifying the location. Getting this right is totally not negotiable because it's the foundation for everything else that follows. So on this screen, the very first thing you're going to do is select your Assigned House Listing Block, or HLB. And once you do that, watch this. The state, district, and all the other details just pop right in. This is your first big checkpoint to make sure you're working in exactly the right spot. Now, before you even think about asking a single question about the household, you have got to get these three identifiers in correctly. The line number, well, that's going to be auto-generated for each new entry, so that's easy. But the building and census house numbers, you have to carefully enter those exactly as they appear on your layout map and on the actual markings on the building. Okay, so we've identified the house. Now let's get into describing its physical structure. The data you collect here is just so crucial for understanding housing conditions all across the country. These next three questions, they're all about one thing: the main materials used for the floor, the wall, and the roof. We're looking for what makes up the majority of each of those parts of the structure. All right, now for the walls. Sometimes this can be a little tricky, especially if they're plastered over or painted. Your job is to find out from the respondent what the main material is underneath all that. Is it burnt brick? Is it mud? Your selection here really does paint a picture of how durable the dwelling is. Now, when we get to the roof, take a look at the level of detail it's asking for, especially when it comes to tiles. See, it's not just about whether it is a tile roof, it's about what kind of tile. And why? Well, because this little distinction helps us understand local economies and traditional building practices. Pretty cool, right? And this shows the difference perfectly. Just look closely. On the left, you've got your handmade or daisy tiles. See how they're a little less uniform? Then, on the right, you've got your machine-made tiles, all consistent in shape and size. Picking the right code here is absolutely vital for accurate classification. Okay, this next section is absolutely 100% crucial. Your answer here, it's like a switch on a railway track. It decides which set of questions the app is going to send you down next. Question 7, ascertain use of census house, is, without a doubt, the most powerful branching point in this entire survey. What you select here is going to shape the entire rest of the workflow for this one entry. As you can see, the app gives you this whole list of options, everything from a simple residence to a factory or a place of worship. Your choice from this list, plus those two little checkboxes at the bottom for is locked and is institutional, is basically your navigation system for the rest of the survey. So here's the bottom line. If a house is purely residential, you're on the long-haul journey. You're going to go through all 34 questions. But if it's purely non-residential, say a shop or a factory, you'll just record what it is, and the app will smartly skip you almost all the way to the end. Your job for that entry just got a whole lot shorter. Now, you really have to pay close attention to these two checkboxes. If a house is locked because the people who live there are away, you'll tick is locked, confirm it's a residence, and then bam, the app jumps you right to the question for a contact mobile number. But if you find an institutional household like a boarding house or an orphanage, ticking that box triggers a completely different, much more specialized set of questions. And here's a really key clarification. Even though a place like a hospital or hotel is obviously an institution, for this survey, you do not mark them as institutional households. Why? Because they have their very own specific codes back in question 7, like hospital/dispensary or hotel/lodge. So your rule is always pick the most specific category you can find. So now that we get the flow of the questions, let's take a quick look at the tools you have to actually move around inside the app. These 3 buttons at the bottom of your screen, these are your main controls. Previous lets you pop back and fix an answer if you need to. Next just moves you forward one question at a time. And Jump, that's a really powerful tool that lets you go directly to any question number you want, which can be super handy. And finally, let's talk about the most important steps of all, saving your hard work and making sure it gets safely uploaded to the main server. This main menu, the house listing operations screen, think of it as your mission control. After you're done with your entries, you're going to come back here for 2 key final actions: sync and mark as complete. I cannot stress this enough. It is absolutely essential that you sync your data regularly. Don't wait until the end of the day. Syncing uploads everything you've collected to the server, and that creates a secure backup. It's your safety net, making sure nothing gets lost if your device has a problem. Once you are totally confident that every house in your HLB is covered, you'll hit Mark as Complete. That brings you to this confirmation screen. Here, you'll just confirm that the data is correct, provide a quick digital signature, and then hit that final Save and Sync button. And that's it. That HLB is now locked from any more edits. You should really remember this golden rule. It's the whole process in one sentence. Ask the question, verify the answer you get, record it in the app, review your entries to catch any mistakes, sync your data often, and only then mark the block as complete. If you follow this sequence every time, you're guaranteeing high-quality data. You see, by understanding this branching logic and the flow of the app, you're not just collecting data anymore. You're building a reliable snapshot of our nation. You are now equipped to go out there and handle your duties accurately and efficiently. This wraps up our guide. Thank you for your incredibly vital work.